Hello, my music-loving friends. Jeff back here. As I was pulling out the stuff that I had for the video tonight, I thought a couple of the titles made me think, oh, I could call this Metal Monday, because today's Monday, and there's some metal. But then I realized that not everything into this video this evening is metal, so I won't call it that. Or will I? We'll see. Anyway, so over the past week or so, I did do a Striper video, but that was more of a concert review and some knickknacks and stuff I had from them, so I didn't really show any of the recent vinyl. Didn't have a whole lot, I think, prior to that, but I picked up a couple things over the weekend. So I figured I'd do this quick video. We always say quick, don't we? Somebody else said that the other day. So first, I'm going to go backwards from the stuff I bought the longest to go to the stuff that came in today's mail. So this is a band that maybe not many of you are aware of. It's a band called Diviner. They're on Retroactive Records, which is one of those places overseas. And this is a band, this is their second release. Realms of Time. It just came out like a couple weeks ago. Actually, I pre-ordered it and it came in the mail last week, I believe. This is a follow-up to their previous first album, Fallen Empires. I'm not sure if I've ever shown this because I got this back before I started making videos a while back, early on. The thing that shocks me when I went back and looked at this was this is a 2015 release. I swear it has not been 4 years. I've played this so much, it just seems so fresh. So I was like, I had to do a double take. Really? I didn't have it 4 years ago because I bought it on vinyl when I started collecting vinyl 2 years ago. New album. Believe it or not, you've heard a little bit of this because at the intro of my videos, that heavy rhythm at the beginning when the little title screen pops up, that's from this album. When I first got the digital tracks for this to download, I downloaded the digital tracks probably 6 or more weeks ago to do a review for the magazine that I write for, and then I finally got the vinyl in. So I've been using the digital track intro on my videos. Retroactive Records is one of those, they just, everything, I like everything about them. They're top notch. This has got, nice glossy cover. Here's a cover of the band. These guys are metal, melodic metal. I believe some of the guys used to be in Inner Wish, which is another band from that area. Why am I totally forgetting where they're from? Let's say Sweden yet. Well, the label's from Sweden. And I really like them. Their music is just so tight. The vocalist, I've read some people don't like him as much. He's got kind of a gritty voice. Some people it gets on their nerve. To me, it's Dio-esque. It's just enough grit to be... It just sounds so powerful. And look, he looks like he's going to hurt you. There. But it's just one of those modern bands, and there's a ton of these bands, and it's kind of power metalish, but not really. I don't really call it that. Anyway, they're just, just one of those solid bands that I really like. It's a hard cardboard insert, and it's got more pictures, lyrics, nice heavy duty. Anyway, like I said, I had been listening to the digital tracks for over a month, so I was really looking forward to the vinyl, and it came in. So if you haven't checked them out and you are a metal fan, definitely look these guys up. Then, what came up next in the week, and I can hear it now, people who watch this say, oh my gosh, more Neal Morse. Yes, more Neal Morse. This is totally different though. This is a rock opera that he wrote. It's not the Neal Morse band. It doesn't have Mike Portnoy on drums. Some of the other guys from the band are on here. It's got a lot of different singers on here because it is a rock opera. It tells a story called Jesus Christ the Exorcist. So you've got females singing the parts of, Mary and stuff. Matt from Theocracy, another band on Alterium Records. Theocracy is just an awesome power metal band. He sings on here. It's got a bunch of different people. I haven't even stopped to look at all the different voices that are on here. Musically, it's not as prog as Neal Morse's other rest of his stuff, but it's still got those elements in there because how can you get away from it? But a lot of straightforward stuff, some ballady type stuff. Good luck reading them lyrics. My goodness, they're so small. That's why I haven't really stopped to look at all the cast and everything because here's a cast here. Yeah, so hard to read. Some of the guys from Spock's Beard, Mark Pogue. I can't even. Anyway, as you can see, it is autographed by Neal. I guess that's because I pre-ordered it. Most of the stuff I buy from his label I tend to pre-order, and I always get, as I showed before my Neal Morse video, I get them signed and stuff. All three of them are on solid white vinyl. It is three discs. Anyway, I may insert a clip here because it's just, good solid, hard rockin' stuff. So check this out.
It's the Father's will that I must die. You cannot stop me, Peter. I must go.
Okay. So, yeah, it's a cool concept album, and it's long, 20 some songs. But I think it's really good. But of course, you know how I am. Everything that Neal Morse touches is gold. Anyway, so that was a really exciting thing. That came in on Thursday. So that actually came in the same. No, it came in on Wednesday. Came in the day before I had to go to the Striper concert. So I come home Wednesday, and here it is. I'm like, I didn't even get to put it on. I put it on the turntable and played one song, had to pull it off, had to eat real quick and run to band practice. And then got in from band practice. It was too late to play it then, so then I went to work, and then I got off work early and went straight to the concert. So I didn't even get a chance to listen to it until Friday. But I have had the digital tracks for that, access to them for a couple months also to review. Okay, so then that brings us up to the weekend. So on Father's Day, my kids took me out to eat. We were near the mall, so I said, let's go to the mall. There's a store in the mall that has all kinds of records. They're all scattered. It's kind of chaotic. I never really spend any time in there because it's so chaotic. But I said, well, let's go plow through and take a look. Some of the things are priced a little bit high. Some of the things are not priced. So I asked him, what's the price on the ones that are not priced? He says, I don't know. We'll give you a deal. And then he just rattles off the numbers off the top of his head. Okay, so first thing, let's mention we got Power Station. Now and it's a gold stamp promo, whatever. To be honest, when this came out, I was not a very huge Duran Duran fan, and I wasn't much of a Robert Palmer fan. over the years, of course, Some Like It Hot and, Bang a Gong, all of those you hear on the radio over and over and over. So I do appreciate those, but I've never listened to this album in its entirety. So I thought, well, it's there. It's only a couple bucks, and I will go ahead and grab it. Brought it home, cleaned it up, scrubbed it down. Looks really nice and shiny now. And I played it, and it was enjoyable. Okay, so I know nothing about the actual history of the band. I mean, obviously, it's got some Duran Duran guys. It's got Robert Palmer. But I noticed when I was logging in on Discogs that it says the power station on some, and then it says the power station 33 and a third on others. Anybody want to care to enlighten me as to what the difference is? Why is one called just power station and one's called 33 and a third? Is there a difference? I looked at it and it looked like the same songs. Why is that? Two different titles. Tell me, I say. This I ran across, and immediately when I saw it, I said, there's something I know about that. And I saw on the front, I said, okay, well, this is, they look like a rock band. But I'm like, there's something, for just a split second, I'm like, I know something about this. And then it caught my eye as to what it was. This is the first album by Piper. I'm like, where do I know that name from? What do I know that name from? Oh, that's right. This is Billy Squier's band. This is like the first album with Billy Squier on it. I don't think he had anything prior to this. So, Piper is Billy Squier singing and playing guitar, and it's a band atmosphere. This is out in '77, so it does have a '70s rock vibe, classic rock type vibe. It was really good. I enjoyed it really well. They did a second Piper album, and then I guess Billy Squier went solo, and we know him from there on all the stuff he's done. So I was glad to find this. It was in really good condition, and the guy only wanted like $4 for it. So, Billy Squier, Piper, good stuff, good stuff. All right, the next couple that I found at that same place are more Christian pop type stuff. Christian rock, Christian pop. I was excited to find this, White Heart, Don't Wait for the Movie. I want to say when I discovered White Heart, this is they're kind of, the Christian rock, keyboard, not really pop, but rock. Each album they did after this got rockier and heavier to a degree, to where they're still, hard rock, but not, like all out metal. I want to say this might have been about the time where I entered into the White Heart picture, because the album prior to this would have been the Hotline. And I don't know if I may have had that before, or if this would have been the first one I bought. 85, 86, somewhere around there. I might have had Hotline. But this is the album where they changed singers, and Rick, they went on to sing for all the rest of the White Heart history. And this is still one of my favorites. Beat of a Different Drum is a song that every time I sit down at the drums, I play that pattern. If you ever heard the song, it's a drum pattern. I just goof around with it. I play it at church and stuff because it's such a neat offbeat pattern that I'm like, I wonder if anybody's ever going to recognize it and go, hey, you're playing a White Heart song. Nobody's ever done it to this day. Anyway, great stuff. I really, really enjoy this album. Everything from here out, to me, is just, wonderful. So, again, if you're into, Christianese typey music, good solid rock, good stuff here. A little more. That one has a little like electronic drum sound to it, so it's a little more of that vibe. But it's not. I don't want to give the impression that it's like, that kind of sound. It's pretty good sound. Anyway, and then I found another one, White Heart. This would have been what? Is this like two before? Yeah. So before that other one would have been Hotline, and then before Hotline was Vital Signs. So. For a little bit of White Heart's history, first album, they had a Steve Green singing on it. It was pretty much, 1982, it was pretty much mellow. They had a little bit of guitar stuff in there, but they progressively got heavier. My understanding is they first album, you would call it rock. Steve Green sang on it. It's got a lot of members in the band. He wanted to go a little bit more soft and contemporary, so Steve Green went on to do a lot of more almost gospel related music, but not really, just a little more on the mellow side. So then they brought in another singer, and here, and he sang on this album. And I mean, all the guys kind of sing, but so he was the main singer, and then he sang on Hotline, and then he was replaced. Whole story there, but so the core of the band pretty much stayed. Dan Huff and them. Dan Huff is in here. He went on to do a lot of stuff, bands like Giant stuff. But so this would have been in between. So you got the first album, which was a little more mellow rock, and then you got this album, which is a little more kick it into gear with a little more rock. Hotline was a little more intense, and then the other one, like I said, they got progressively edgier as the Christian industry got progressively edgier in the 80s. And then this one, not a huge fan, but I do have, they just reissued these on CD, and I do have digital copies of them, and I did see this band live back in the day, and I had to rescue it from this massive store with all these albums that are in ill repair pretty much, and I found a product album. So these were reissued last year, so I have recently listened to them. I saw this band live back in 1985, New Year's Eve. Me and a friend went and saw them. And they're kind of, these guys are definitely a little more on the pop side, electronic sounding pop side. They have like 3 albums, I believe, 3 albums. Pop rock. So they're good. I like them. Not a huge fan, but I'm going to pick them up on vinyl if I get them. And this one was even in the shrink wrap still. I may go ahead and rip that off, but it's in the shrink wrap. It was open. And so I thought, for a couple bucks, I'm going to go ahead and grab this. They did have a couple other vinyl releases that I was real tempted to get. They had both the first and second Michael W. Smith. Those would have been the only 2 Michael W. Smith that I ever owned before. I may still have, I think I might still have one CD, but my roommate back in the day in 85 had both of those. It was his start, and those were the first 2 albums that we listened to all the time. I may still go back and get them. I just figured I grabbed so many things there, and the kids were hurrying me out. I decided not to, but those are, Michael W. Smith used to play with Amy Grant, and then he went solo, and that first album, and then he had the Project whatever. I might go back for those. Anyway, all right, that brings us up to today. We'll call this Metal Monday from here on out, because in the mail today, this should have got to me earlier, but the Postal Service, he gave me the tracking number, the guy I bought this from, sent me the tracking number yesterday. I said, oh, great. So I bought this record, and the record label that's made it and manufactured it is literally like 4 hours from me. They're up near Washington, D.C. I ordered it. He sent it like 8 days ago. It comes in today. It went from D.C. to somewhere else, maybe Roanoke, which makes sense, to North Carolina, back to D.C., and then today it arrives. This is the new vinyl, first time ever released on vinyl, first time ever released. It used to be on CDR, that the band would sell it at their shows way back in 2000-ish, early 2000s. First time it's been released officially on, and now on vinyl. Place of Skulls live. Place of Skulls is a doom metal band. Victor Griffin, the guitar player and singer, used to be in the band Pentagram. He's still in it now. I think they got back together a handful of years ago, and he's been touring with them for a while. I'm not sure if they're in it like right now, but I know maybe a year or two ago, I wanted to go see him. He came close, and I don't know why I didn't go. It wasn't even that far, down to the beach. Something that night. I don't know what it was. Kick myself for it. Pentagram is a band that was around since the early 70s and stuff, and they are doom metal too. This is a doom metal thing, him playing guitar and singing. And as you can tell from the name, and you may have seen it, I have a Place of Skulls shirt that I've worn in previous videos. I really like these guys. They have about, 5, 6, 7 albums out. This is recorded in 2000. It's not all the songs from the CDR that the band sold. There's a couple. I think the band, it had 10. This one has 8. Anyway, Maniacal Records. Maniacal Records. Maniacal. What kind of word is that? Maniacal Records. It's pretty well done there. It's got a neat looking picture here, and then on the back it's got a letter from Victor talking about this album and how they used to sell it and how this was recorded before their first album came out, etc., etc. Cool labels there. You can't really quite see that. Doom metal, and they are we would lump them into the Christian band market because they do have lyrics. Some of their lyrics are not so much, but they do have some like "The Blood of Jesus" and "Cornerstone." So they have some blatantly Christian songs from time to time, and then they have just some straightforward stuff too. The thing that I like really about this, okay, so this is a Gustave Doré, however you pronounce it, artwork. I really like this, guys. If you remember from my I'd never shown this except for on the contest entry the other day for show an album with 7 tracks, but my band's first album, only album, Hemo Theory, only album, it has the same artist. I love Doré's stuff. I actually have. He did a lot of stuff back in the day for the Bible, and so I bought this book, the Doré Bible Illustrated. These appeared in like the early editions of the Bible, and it's just all kinds of artwork that they intertwined into the Bible. It's wood carving type stuff. My understanding is the Doré stuff is actually. I haven't seen many of them, but they're actually real paintings. But then somebody came along and made wood carvings of all of them. And that's what's become the most popular, and then the Bible and stuff. So, anyway. And then the other thing that came in the mail today from Retroactive Records is White Ray, the collected works. You know what? 1 second. Okay, I should have thought of grabbing that before, but all right. So White Ray, Christian metal band. They put out 4 tapes: 88, 89, 1990, 1991. Then they got signed and they put out 1 album, but they changed their name to Killed by Cain. So if you're familiar with the Killed by Cain release, Retroactive released that on vinyl like 2 years ago, year and a half or so ago. So now with this double CD release of all 4 of their previous demos, you pretty much have everything done by these guys. When they did the Killed by Cain album, and I do have that, and it's good, Bride singer Dale Thompson, I think, produced it. He did some little vocal stuff on it. But they changed styles a little bit. The singer's voice got really grittier, dirtier sounding than it did here. And while it's a good album, I'm still a bigger fan of White Ray. Their stuff I like better. On top of that, back when they first brought out their 88 and 89 demo, but I was running my magazine, and I hooked up with that, really liked those 2 demos, and so I got on the phone, and I used to talk to their singer all the time on the phone. We became pretty good phone friends, I guess you could say. Never met him. And so then they released some, everything that they did. He would send me tapes. I'd have, I have some rough copy of a demo or whatever. So then they released 2 more demos. I just really liked them and used to talk to them all the time. But I did lose track of him around the time of Killed by Cain. I was moving the magazine. I'd stopped doing the magazine a year or so before, started having kids. Lost track of him. But have always liked the White Ray material. So now this comes out. When they were talking about putting this out, Matt over at Retroactive asked, I told him I had copies of the demos. He said, well, send them to me, let me see if we can use them. I don't think they used them. I think they got stuff from the band eventually, which is what I was hoping. They would get some original tracks. So, but I was so excited to at least to send them stuff so they'd have something to look at. I'm pretty sure they didn't use them. Oh, it also comes with, the pre-order came with a pin, which looks just like the cover. Anyway, so however they did it, they put it out. Scott Waters, of course, he does the artwork. And another little claim to fame. So, well, I had mentioned to this earlier before. So here's one of my magazines. if you watch a lot of people, like I just sent one of these to Dolphin Dale, and he showed it in his video today or yesterday. Scott Waters showed some a couple times ago. So I have a couple of these laying around, and so I sent them. But here is a story of White Ray. And inside, it is an interview photo and an interview of White Ray. So I had this photo and some other photos. Scott said, hey, can you send them to me? I said, sure. Sent him everything I had. So the one photo ends up in here. The other photos end up here. Here's a copy of my magazine, and then it's got the interview that I had. He put that in here in the notes. Again, some photos. Flip over here. Got the rest of the interview. Now that photo I did not give him, but this is one here, and then a bunch of reviews. Most of them are from Heaven's Metal, though the one from my magazine is there too. So, and then it says here, special thanks. Extra special thanks to Jeff McCormack, editor and creator of the Pendragon magazine, for allowing us to reprint the classic interview. Jeff is also a staff writer for Heaven's Metal magazine, which is true. So, I had a lot to do. Worked with Scott a couple weeks ago, got him all that stuff, and he was able to put that in there. So, neat, yay me. Anyway, that's actually the second time a copy of my magazine has appeared in a reissue. The other one was for the Guardian Voyager reissue on M8 Records a handful of years ago. They put one of my issues in that had Guardian on the cover. Anyway, so I'm really excited to have this. Matt did send me the digital copies of these songs a couple weeks ago, so I've already heard it, and it sounds great. One of the cassettes I had was pretty muddy sounding because it was like on a cheap tape. It wasn't an actual official tape that the band released, and so that one always sounded muddy. So I'm glad to have some better sounding ones. Anyway, great stuff. I'm excited. I got a lot to listen to. Been spinning some of this all week, but still so much more to burn through. And anyway, just wanted to share. I thank you for watching. Like and subscribe and all that stuff if you haven't already. Let's take off with this channel. All right, anyway, thanks a lot. Rock on and have a Metal Monday. Later.